they need to get better cameras. I did not want to use my ring light because lazy. Didn't want to today. But it's funny because it's not even how I look in real life. So guys, get better settings, bruh. But I figured I'd answer you guys, talk to you, and see how you guys are doing. I know it's kind of spur of the moment. My bad. But for people who watch me long term, they know I'm kind of random. It's just how I am. Maybe I should get my ring light because damn, this isn't helping me. Okay, we're gonna go on a little trip. Having clots suck, guys. Where did I put my? Oh, there it is. Hey, whoever's on, what's up, guys? Figured I'd go random live. Sorry, I'm getting my ring light out because YouTube is not helping me with lighting. And I'm moving crap. And trying to get my ring light out. Hey, Stacey, how's it going, girl? Sorry, I'm just getting my ring light out because it's dark as shit. Did I forget to plug it in? Lord Jesus. Hold on. Why am I never prepared for life? There we go. What's up, guys? I was trying to do it without it, but Lord knows I need lighting. I am like many different heritages, Italian, Portuguese. I'm Mediterranean, so my skin tone is a little olivey, so you need lighting. Hey, Evelyn, Tammy, Marlene. Yeah, no, it's been a minute. For anybody that doesn't know, I do YouTube shorts. I don't really make many videos anymore. I just figured it's easier for the world to have short time with Heather. But I did make a video yesterday. What the hell did I make it on? Oh, eating with dentures. I'm trying to teach everybody how to eat because so many people get frustrated. And I'm like, everything that you learned with teeth, take it out of your head. And it's actually easier to eat with dentures, believe it or not, if you have a good hold. Everything is based on a good hold. When people ask me, how'd you eat whatever you want in a month? I'm like, if your denture doesn't move, you're good. You can eat whatever you want. So it's really on dentists being educational with everybody and being real with them. You need a good hold. Without a good hold, you can't eat. Or well, shall I say. And I want you guys to eat whatever the frick you want. You should be able to. And some people give up. And I don't want people to give up. So I'm pretty, I force people to learn about dentures. Because nobody's taught anything. Even I didn't know. I kind of wung it. Well, guys, Sarah was saying, how are you? I'm a mess, if you haven't noticed. Mom bun in full effect. Just how I do it. It sucks, man. When I have pulmonary embolisms, which they all dissolved because I'm not a quitter. They were like, most people when they hear they have pulmonary embolisms, it's absolutely terrifying because you can die at any minute. And me having 46 all lungs together scared everybody. But I was like, you know what? I go to the gym every day. I did all that. And first of all, I wore out my body. But I dissolved them all because circulation makes you absorb blood easily and it goes right back into your body. So I got them dissolved and it's shocking, but less than 2 months. And doctor's like, how'd you do it? I'm like, I went to the gym every day and did cardio. Dissolved. Problem solved. But because my son got sick, which was with like allergies with a light cold, when you have a weakened immune system like I do, which is crap, you tend to get shit, and when you get shit, it's kind of big. I haven't had pneumonia in like a decade. And then I saw the doctor, which thank God my doctor is on vacation. I hate her. Like she's like all, let's do everything all natural. Bitch, you almost killed me. We ain't doing things all natural anymore. I'm unique. We can't do that. Even though I truly believe that antibiotics are just given out to people, which is not needed. But in my case, I had pneumonia. So I had a sinus infection, pneumonia, bronchitis. And I told my oldest, Stevie, who got me sick, I was like, bruh, keep your fingers off your face. Wash your hands a lot. I get kids are dreamy little monsters, but you gotta be careful not to kill your mother. So I spray everything down, not my kids, but I spray down all their stuff and try to keep everything clean. Thanks, Evelyn. Evelyn, tell me your experience. I shall help. Any questions you guys have, shoot it out. Let it flow. Ask me. Because I'm here. I learned everything by hit and miss. But you know what? If your dentist doesn't tell you shit, most dentists tell nobody. They literally hand us a denture and say, here, have a great day. What's going to be great about that day? Bruh. Really? So I learned everything. And my dentist, I love him. Because if I have any questions, he answers. He is such a great doctor. He came from Jamaica. And I love him. I love him. Like, if he sees that you're upset, he'll start breaking out in song and dance. And I remember when he was like, Heather, I'm going to say this to you in his Jamaican accent. You are a badass. He goes, I've never seen somebody who couldn't take Novocaine and didn't want to opt out for an oral surgeon. First of all, if I did half my teeth, the oral surgeon would have got to me 2 months later. The denture would have been not fitting properly at all. It'd be a mess. I didn't want to drag this shit out. So he was like, all right, hold on to my arm. I'm going to yank him out. And it was these 8 that were the most infected because into the sinuses and stuff. And he was like, hold on to my arm. I'm going to do this as quick as freaking possible. Just hang in there. And was it the worst pain in the world? Yeah, it's deafening, the pain of trying to take out a tooth without anything. And technically they were healthy teeth. There was just infection around it. But they were going to die anyway, so they needed to come out. And that's what caused me to get dentures. But he was like, I've never seen somebody take it like a freaking boss. And I'm like, well, let me ask you a question. What is me whining and crying and complaining going to fix anything? And that's the one thing I've learned. I've done everything on my own my whole life. My whole life. Anytime I wanted to rely on somebody, they taught me why I couldn't. So I never wanted to be that type of person where I was like any of that. I wanted people to be able to depend on me and rely on me. And my word, my promise is everything. I have never broken a promise unless I was in a hospital and I couldn't go through with it because something stopped me. And yes, Pam, everything is trial and error. First of all, everything in life is trial and error. Nobody gave us the manual with life and be like, hey, this is how you take care of kids. This is how you're a single mom, in my case. This is how you have there's no manual, bro. So it's all trial and error. And I tell people all the time, you didn't fail. You only fail if you quit, give up, and throw in the damn towel. No matter how many times it takes you to get somewhere, keep going. Keep trying, because we wouldn't be the strong people we are without the trial and error. Without keep pushing through, no matter if it's medical or anything, dentures, doesn't matter. As long as you keep working, then you know what works and what doesn't work, and then you become stronger. Be like, all right, this works. So say you fork off. This didn't work, this does. All right, so detour, go back over. Go to what works. And then you keep doing that. And that's what makes people strong. Without the bad, we would never truly appreciate the good. Without the bad, we wouldn't be the strong people we are. I'm a firm believer in that. Yeah, Tammy, nobody tells anybody anything. When I started YouTube, even the YouTubers weren't telling people any beneficial information. Like, even when I watched Spider Liz, which I love her personality, but if you watch her stuff, it wasn't how-to. It was telling you, you know, what she went through, or even your favorite denture where he wasn't at one point. He was just talking about his life and all this other stuff and what products he likes. He never showed, like me, when I do reviews, people who watch me know when I do reviews, I video the whole damn day. I will video me putting it in so you know I'm actually putting it in. And how to put it in, how to take them out if they came out prior. If eating this is what's going to cause it to pop. You know, I rate things between mild adhesive that will mildly work. And I always tell people, if you need to use 2 adhesives, there's your sign you need a soft reliner. Because you should never need 2 adhesives. Not only that, is you're combining 2 chemical different adhesives, combining them together, and you don't know what the reaction is. And everybody is so different. So I've seen people get chemical burns from mixing them. I've seen people, like, all sorts of things happen. Sorry guys, I'm just reading people's stuff. You know me, I talk too much, so I try to get everything in. But I know this live was random. I can't help it. Every time I schedule a live, something happens. The kids need me to go get them. They need something. Something always happens. Always. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to be random today. Usually I'm random. So if you guys actually want to look for my videos, it's in shorts. So if you go to anybody who actually watches shorts, because I watch them all the time, short videos, because it's just easy. You can either, if you're subscribed to me, it'll be in your stuff if you watch shorts. Or you could just go to my channel, and there's a whole list of things like video, live, shorts, blah, blah, blah. Click on shorts, have at it. I also answer people, when people comment on my videos, especially the most common things I get asked, I make videos all the time for it. And I do short videos and mention them and do all that. Hey, Debbie, that's awesome. You know, people ask me about snap-on dentures. And now, remind you, I've ex-dentists, and I've done, literally in every single support group, I've done just a random, like, thing where they answer me, only snap-on dentures. If they need adhesive, if they don't need adhesive, blah, 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 blah. So even dentists have told me, because I've all sort of dentists all over the country, I do that. Well, if I don't know the information, I want to get the information, and I don't have snap-on dentures. I can't get implants. I'm allergic to like most metals, so I wouldn't be able to get them anyway. But I always tell people, if you can afford it, do snap-on dentures, because yes, you're still going to need soft reliners because it's a denture. It doesn't go with the shrinkage. No denture does. So you're going to need soft reliners. And from what I did from the, what the hell is that called? My brain is not braining today. I'm searching in the Rolodex for words. I did a whole, like, test for all snap-on denture wearers. And 97% of them still need to use adhesive. Maybe not as much, but they still need to use adhesive. Too many people ask me, without implants, without actual snap part, hey, I'm going to horseshoe my top denture. I'm like, why would you do that? First of all, your palate gives you the shrinkage and suction so where it doesn't fall down. You're now taking that out. First of all, still half of it is on because you can't fully get rid of it because it covers the gums. So you took out maybe like a thumbprint amount, but it's a lot to take out. And people come back to me a few months later and be like, Heather, yeah, you were right. Now I have to get a whole new denture because it's just not working. And I was like, never horseshoe your denture unless you have implants to back it up, because that thing will fall flat down. It's not the bottom denture where the bottom denture is on the bottom, so it just moves, but it doesn't fly out your mouth. Top denture will fly right down. But yeah, some people, implants are meant to give you extra hold. It's not permanent hold. That would be a bridge all on fours. All on fours get screwed in. They don't come out unless your dentist takes them out. Which, really, if you have the money, and you have to replace it every 10 years, but if you have the money and you can do that, that's the best option. Because it still treats it like it's your real teeth. And it's all up in there. It ain't coming out. Snap-on dentures give you a little bit more hold than regular dentures would. So you can snap them in, but they can still move. They can still do all that. And sometimes you still need adhesive. But I always recommend it for the bottom denture. A lot of people can't handle the bottom denture. I was on YouTube for my top denture for 2 years before I got my bottom one. And people made me nervous thinking bottom was going to be hard. No, once you figure it out, it's not hard. My bottom denture is the least of my problems. Except when it gets embedded into my jaw, because, yeah, that sucks. But the bottom denture, it's the tongue muscles that prevent people from actually having a quality of life with bottom dentures. And I always tell people, if you take your tongue to the roof of your mouth, if that bottom denture pops with the tongue muscle, just do an adjustment. You got to do an adjustment to where it's above your tongue muscles at the highest point. So if you go like this, mine stays flat to the wall. It doesn't curve in and go to, I fixed it all myself because that's how dentures are made. But they're wrong because that's not how you should do it. It goes on the tongue muscles. It's going to hurt like it did me, so I had to fix it. And it's just going to keep popping your denture and give you a crappy denture quality of life. And the fact that it doesn't have a palate. So all water, food, everything goes into the bottom denture at all times. So that's why staying on top of soft reliners, it's not like it's the top one because you got to push food up there and water to even get it into the denture. Bottom denture, gravity happens, it's going to stay down there. So it's going to automatically go into and melt all your adhesive. So one, absolutely should wait 45 minutes when you apply adhesive before you eat or drink. Because then it's going to be not even ever be able to dry. It's going to be constantly wet and it's going to melt. Because all adhesive melts with water. All of them. There's not one out there. Secure says it's waterproof. It's not. That's how I got mine out off my denture, was water. So it's not waterproof. But you have to stay on top of soft reliners. Like, you cannot miss a beat or you're going to struggle. Not implants. So, Renee, it depends on where you go and where you get them. But normally you have to change out the abundance, depending on it depends what you get as a metal. So if you get zirconia, which is stronger, it lasts longer. If you get, crap, I forgot which one's the cheapest one. But that one has to be replaced out because it doesn't last long. And it's not good for the jaw. You have to be able to, clean the stuff out, get up in there. Here's the problem. Most implants get rejected either for medical reasons because, I wouldn't be able to do any metal. But if you don't clean your implants twice a day like you're supposed to, like you would your teeth, like you would your dentures, you have to clean them. But food gets stuck in there and it'll keep getting in there and then things get infected, the implants start rejecting. So it depends on the metal, but from all the dentists I spoke to, even wanting to know about implants because I can't get them done, but they even said usually they replace them every 10 years. And it's more like the denture part of it. So say if you get a bridge, they're plastic teeth. They're going to have wear and tear. Just like, say if you have state insurance or any insurance, they replace them after 7 years. 7 to 8 years, depends on your insurance. But all plastic, all teeth even do it. If you look at your teeth when you first had teeth as a kid, well, we'll just say even a young adult, and you look at it to however you old now, you're going to notice your teeth are getting smaller. That's because the more you eat, especially if you eat hard, crunchy foods. I don't really go for hard, crunchy foods. My husband's obsessed with them, which is why he has chiclet teeth. But you sand them down when you eat. And having plastic teeth is weaker than actually having real teeth, which is bone and enamel. So that's why we replace our dentures every 7 to, or even 5 to 7 years, because they all shrink down and get smaller. If you look at my teeth from what they were 3 years ago, they're even a smidge smaller now. So they're completely different. What do you mean, what do you do when you get older? Just like denture wearers, you have to replace the dentures. They wear and tear. All things have wear and tear. So you'd still have to replace the bridge that you have or the snap-on denture you have. It's not going to be for 20 to 30 years. There are a lot of older people that people say, oh, my great-grandmother has the same teeth that she did. Okay, but that's probably not good for the jaw, and the teeth are probably way smaller. And you can see the wear and tear on the denture when you have them. Hey, Natalie. So there's a difference between people not doing it and people are good with their denture or bridge or whatever and have to get them replaced. They should be replaced. You look anywhere with any dentist, they will tell you the same thing. That's why as denture wearers, as bridge wearers, snap-on denture wearers, we still have to get new dentures every certain amount of years because they wear and tear. And our jaw changes over time. We lose bone over time. Bone loss is ridiculous. So if you have a denture that's way too big for your mouth, that's now going to realign your jaw, cause TMJ issues. It's going to cause a host of issues. John, what the hell is a BBW? People write the weirdest shit. Well, Renee, there are people that replace their implants, especially abutments break. It's part of the implant, but they get surgery. If you ever watch surgical channels on YouTube, there are 80-year-olds that get this done. Age really doesn't have to do with it if you need a good quality mouth to eat and chew. But it also depends on health, too. A lot of older people are on different meds and stuff and have certain health issues. So normally that would be advised against. Not everybody qualifies for implants. Not everybody has even when people have to get fake bone, so it's bone grafting done, because they have so much bone loss. And whatever caused them to have so much bone loss, you can even have bad teeth with no medical issues. And it took you a very long time to get this process done. And then you do it, it's still gonna, it doesn't matter what age you are. And if you have to replace stuff, you're going to have to. Everything wears and tears in life. Nothing is permanent. Like when people are way older and they think they should keep their denture for like 20 to 30 years, that denture is going to be wear and tear like crazy. Remember, it's plastic and acrylic. If plastic and acrylic lasted that long, life would be better. Plastic is actually pretty fragile. John, be appropriate. Hey, Keith. Haven't seen you in ages. I know people, like literally on my support group, there are people that literally got their implants rejected. 3 times they got them done, boom, rejected. Took them out. Tried again. Did it again. Like 3 times. I mean, I probably would have quit. That's a lot of money to put in for implants and to keep doing it because your body's rejecting it. Normally, I would tell somebody probably change the metal. But, hey, Ina. Well, I'm glad you're part of the Diva crew, girl. Which I gotta put up the member video too. But I don't know who taught anybody that nothing is replaceable. But everything has wear and tear. Everything does. Everything. When you eat, it wears and tears. On the denture, on everything. But we get our dentures replaced every 5 to 7 years because it's plastic. It literally is like you rubbing it for whatever time, constantly eating it. I mean, it cracks. People eat things they shouldn't eat with dentures. And it cracks and they have to replace it in a year. I know people that lose their denture. Why you take them out and putting them anywhere? You shouldn't do that. And if you don't wear them, it should be in your denture cup. But people lose their denture. I hear it all the time from people. I know somebody who's lost their denture 4 times. And they're in my support group. And I'm like, stop taking them out and just putting them on your couch. Hey, Christina. But yeah, no implant in this world is going to last 50 years. I'm sure a dentist probably told you that. But nothing is permanent. And when they replace it, because they do break. Abutments, I bring that up because abutments break often. And that's part of the implant. But nothing in the dental world is going to last 50 years. I don't know anything that lasts 50 years. Even when you do bridges, they're still dentures, but they're screwed in. And that makes them permanent. I mean, mostly permanent, because you don't take them out yourself. But yes, everything has to be replaced. When people say, oh, I can redo my denture every 5 to 7 years, it's not like, oh, you could just keep them for 30 years and have a denture that doesn't fit you anymore and just having like a really super thick, soft reliner and doing all that. No, everybody's body changes over time. We do not stay the same, whether it's any part of us. Everything changes. Things become more brittle. And the jaw having a piece of metal in it sure is not fun for the jaw. It's really not. But everything has to be replaced. It's just part of life. Nothing... Even the dentists that I've talked to from YouTube or even all through, and the guy from Ohio, they even say everything's going to have to be replaced eventually. So nothing lasts forever. So if people think, oh, I could get implants done once and I never have to do it again and you're young, you do have to redo them again eventually. Doesn't have to say right now, obviously you just got them done, but they break, they need upkeep, they need maintenance, and sometimes they need to be replaced. Actually, a lot of the time. So 10 years is normally the gist of what it is, give or take. Depends on the person and what they're eating. Everybody's different with implants, though, Renee. I mean, I don't know anybody's medical history and stuff, but especially if you have osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, say you have Sjogren's, which is an autoimmune disease, say you have any of that, it's normally advised against it, especially with autoimmune. Now, the dentist will actually, or the oral surgeon, whoever the hell is doing it, will sit down and talk to you and explain everything, which they should by law, because it is a major surgery that can have major consequences. Like, first of all, I never thought, because I don't have implants. So about 2.5 years ago, one of the girls emailed me and we were just talking. She had implants done. She actually had to get them redone 3 times because her body kept rejecting them. Find out she has a vitamin D deficiency and she has other hosts of health issues. But they ended up hitting a nerve. Now this is, I don't trust technology, because the whole thing is that they could just do an x-ray. It doesn't show your nerves, it doesn't show veins, it doesn't show blood supply, it shows nothing. They go by x-ray and they go in. But they hit a main nerve on her, and now it feels like a freaking major toothache for the rest of her life. She's on gabapentin, it's not working. Like, they've tried everything, seeing a neurologist. Once you freaking drill into a nerve, they can't fix that. They can't. But to me, I want to know why there's not better stuff for dentists can see before they do surgery where the nerves are. Because, I mean, if you did an MRI, shit like that would show nerves. It would show all of that. So, to me, I think that there should be some kind of better image or something that can prevent this. Now, ever since that person told me that, I get emails all the time when they saw my video giving people information, the good and bad, and what can happen with implants. In case the dentist doesn't tell you, which they should, again, by law. There's a lot of bad things that can happen when doing an implant. So it's your choice. I always tell people, if you're super healthy, you got no medical issues, your vitamin levels are good, like you're not allergic to shit, try it. If you have the money for it, do you. Because it can give you a good quality of life. But I think once that girl told me that, and then literally all the time now I get emails of people saying, this is what happened to me, and blah, blah, blah. And I emailed that girl back, and I was like, you don't understand the information you told me and gave me of what could happen has helped other people. And I wanted people to know the experience that you had, not knowing, I never gave out who she was, but people should know this stuff so they have a chance. I don't think any dentist ever tells people, hey, there's a chance I can hit a nerve and then you're gonna have nerve pain in your mouth for the rest of your life. I don't think they say that to people, but it should be a warning. Oh, there's wear and tear on everything, Renee. Everything in life. But yeah, that's why us denturers have to replace our denture every 5 to 7 years. Because these are plastic. They don't last. First of all, I've seen more YouTube denture wearers break their teeth from eating nuts. And I'm like, guys, why are you eating nuts? You as a denture wearer who's an influencer for dentures should warn people to never eat nuts. I don't care if you did that day and you had no problem, but wear and tear. You eat the same spot, you chew in the same spot, it weakens it over time, don't break it. It says all over every dental site in the universe a list of things you should not eat with dentures. And I know I've shared it a few times, well, more than a few times, I have fucking 900 videos, but nuts is the number one thing you should never eat with dentures. Dentures is also a bridge, just permanently placed in, and it's the same material. So, same thing with bridges. If they snap and that's drilled in, you're kind of screwed. So you'd have to emergency go to the dentist, get it all drilled out, and have holes in your shit until they make a new one. Yeah, Renee, that's why I brought that up, because too many people are like, I don't know why my great-grandmother or mom or whatever kept the same teeth for freaking forever. I don't know why either. But you guys got to understand, the information they have now is not the same information they had 20, 30 years ago. There's way more products. By far. They barely had any products. So, having barely any products and not knowing the information, plus if you don't have the money to change them out. That's why insurance is kind of super important. Because dentures are expensive, bro. They are expensive. So for somebody with low income, like I have, it's really hard to just keep replacing your damn dentures. So that could be another reason why she never did. But again, they didn't have the information back then. But think of it, the same dentures for 40 years. Can you imagine how horrible shape they would be in? Horrible. And you think 40 years, you would have so much bone loss, the denture could, like, it's giving you jowls because it's sticking out. Like, it's not healthy for anybody. That's why it's important to get new dentures every time. And I always tell people, if you get bone loss stuff and, like, so your face isn't sunken in, do all that, ask for extra acrylic in the front because it'll keep it more full in your mouth without it being sunken in. That's what I tell my denture. Like, when you got to redo mine, I think it's in, like, my top is another 4 years, maybe? Yeah, like 4 years. I told him, I'm like, I want you to do extra acrylic and make it more full. So I don't lose my top lip. I mean, my autoimmune's kind of taking it out, but I want it more full. And they can do that. Well, Tammy, when you get your teeth pulled out, it's completely numb. The only reason why half of my teeth, well, the top 8 was because I was in sepsis and a bad infection, and Novocaine, doesn't matter how much you use, it's not going to numb it. So I had to do 18th without anything. But when you get, whether you get knocked out or whether you get Novocaine, it's completely numb. You don't feel anything but pressure. So there is no pain in surgery. It's after. I always tell people the first, 2 weeks suck. More like 10 days, but the first 2 weeks suck because you're over swollen, super swollen. And the more tugging and yanking and pulling is the more inflammation you're going to have. And I think I had one tooth cut out. That's the only spot I didn't have pain. Because it's not so much tugging. It's the surgery itself that caused massive inflammation. That's why I tell people you should be taking ibuprofen right before surgery. It'll start controlling the inflammation. People wait until day 2, day 3 when inflammation starts, and then by then you have no control. It's going to be so freaking bad and uncontrollable that you're kind of screwed. And I learned that the hard way. So when I did my bottoms, I was way more prepared. But when you do any part of this, you start always with ibuprofen because the pain is inflammation. That's the pain we're getting. And it makes everything feel tight. Even when you have stitches, holy shit. It feels like I'm freaking Barjol. Anybody who's Italian knows what that is. It's freaking insane. But you absolutely need to stay on top of it before it happens. So you consistently keep taking ibuprofen even before the pain sets in. Before the inflammation gets bad on day 2 or 3 is when it starts to get bad. And by day 6 and 7, you're freaking done with this and you're freaking all the feels in the world. And you're grieving your teeth hard. But you have to stay on top of ibuprofen. You absolutely have to. And say you're allergic to ibuprofen, there are anti-inflammatory shots that are not ibuprofen. Plus, rare cases I've seen them give prednisone. Now, prednisone is really meant for people with lung issues or autoimmune that keep down the inflammation because the side effects to prednisone is pretty insane. I was just on 25 milligrams, which is a high dosage, for the last 10, 12 days. And I had so much water retention, which I have blood clot issues, so I immediately had to get off of it. I was getting pitted edema. It was horrible. So I tell people, short acting, don't be on a long. And if you're getting a full mouth, I can see it, but if you're getting a few teeth, don't even bother. Because the side effects are going to be more than what it's helping. But frozen peas is a great ice pack. It doesn't hurt when you numb yourself, and it doesn't hurt because it's stiff and hard and not moving. It's beaded. So it makes it easier. Yeah, Tammy, day before it doesn't matter because you haven't even started the surgery yet, but because there would be no point to do it at that point because nothing is even being done yet. But if you do it the morning before you do surgery, because when you're getting surgery done, boom, it's already starting to work and control it, and you got to keep up with it. Put a timer on your phone, get all up in it, because if you wait until day 2 or 3 when it's bad, it's going to be so bad the ibuprofen can't control it. And you guys, I don't mean taking 200 milligrams. That's not going to do shit at all for anybody who's got it done. They know what I'm talking about. 200 milligrams of ibuprofen that you would use for a headache is not going to help at all. That's why they normally give 800 milligrams. Now, people get upset when doctors don't give out pain meds. Pain meds don't work, bro. It doesn't. They don't. I actually opted out of my pain meds because it didn't work. And I did ibuprofen, which worked a hell of a lot better. But they give 800 milligrams of ibuprofen to stay on top of that inflammation. So important because the inflammation is what's causing the pain. Because they're yanking, pulling, destroying the soft tissue is what causes all the pain. So, ibuprofen is key. Frozen peas are your life. But I always tell people it's short. You know what I mean? It's not going to last forever. You just got to get through it. People ask me also what I ate. I'm I remember what I ate for my bottom. And I probably knew more about it now. When you have immediate dentures, they act as a Band-Aid. So you don't have to worry if you eat, say, rice pudding or rice, that they're going to get into your sockets because it's covered. So rice pudding is a godsend. So you can do soft solids, man. It's not going to hurt. So I always tell people, first couple of days, especially first day, if you're numb as shit, you can't talk, stay away from the damn shakes. I see people be like, oh, take meal replacement shakes. They're not meal replacement. If you actually read them, they're just nutrition shakes that have the nutrition fully in it if you cannot eat the correct foods at the moment. That's what they're for. They're not meal replacement at all because they're not replacing a meal. They're not even going to keep you full. So I always tell people, if you want it just for the nutrition factor and you're still going to eat, that's fine. But I always tell people, stop pushing liquid diet. People are going to get used to that liquid diet. They're going to be afraid to even do soft foods, then soft solid foods, and then they get stuck in the world of, I'm only eating liquid because I don't want to eat with dentures. I always tell people, soft foods, then soft solids. That's it. And if you do not have immediate dentures, because it's going to happen. I got lucky to where I was able to get immediate dentures because I did payments, but most people don't get that luxury. So you got to stay away from any grains, because you guys don't understand, if they get into your sockets because they're exposed, you're still in the healing process. Grains stuck in, you're going to get infection. Not only that, is that when you try to dig out that rice, you're now going to dig out that blood clot, and now you're going to get dry socket, which is the worst dental pain in world history. Nope. So I always tell people, when you have to be careful what you eat when you don't have dentures, especially that first month, because anything you eat can rip off that thin skin you get right above the blood clot. Was like, probably I would say at day 6 you're gonna have that. Depends on the person. Day 4 to 6 it'll start to happen, but you want to protect the sockets as much as possible. So it's a little harder for people who don't have immediate dentures. Way harder. Hey Helen, girl, I haven't seen you in forever. How's Greece? How you doing over there? Keith, I always tell people, eggs have high fat and high cholesterol. So that is going to give you, so you don't consistently lose weight because you're starving yourself to death. But I'm lactose intolerant. I don't even do eggs. Eggs make me nauseous. There's just something in it. On a rare occasion, I have a Western omelet, but you really have to flavor the crap out of it. Hold on, I'm trying to read what you wrote. Oh, my bottom denture on it? Girl. So if anybody didn't see that short, Ina watches all my shorts, so shout out to Ina for that. But yesterday when I made a short, since I was sick with pneumonia, and dude, I couldn't even get up. I still have the lagging extreme tiredness. Hence, that's why I look like crap. But I kept my bottom denture in. I didn't take them out and do all that at nighttime. Like, I kept them clean and stuff, but I kept them in my mouth because I just had no ounce of energy in me. And I've never done that before. Yeah, if you're a tooth grinder, or even not a tooth grinder, you can bite down in your sleep all day long. I need an adjustment in my bottom, so this part was into my gum. Dude, the swelling and pain. Luckily, when I started taking them out at nighttime, it was healing, but then when I keep them in my mouth, it just happens again, and it sucks. So I gotta do that adjustment today. But yeah, people always say, oh, Heather, you're, a veteran of dentures, you don't get problems. We all get problems no matter what. The beginning is hard for everybody. I don't care who you are. But you're always going to need adjustments, because as gums shrink and the bone goes down, the denture goes down, or the denture goes up, and you always are going to need adjustments, which is why I'm in the shoes I'm in today. Oh, Renee, 100%. Once you're done, see, the first time I got it done, everybody's going to be anxious. I took 0.5 Ativan. I call it the Ativan fairy. I mean, it's super low dosage, but it took the edge off my extreme. I have generalized anxiety disorder, so I panic over everything, which is probably why I'm so thorough and get things done. It's like a superpower, is what I think of it. But the anxiety is so real. When you don't know what to expect, you overthink, you overstress. And I tell people, tell them blue in the face when it ain't gonna matter. What I say is that you stressing is not gonna fix anything. But people learn that on their own. I could say that and be like, protect yourself. When you are stressed out and so anxious, you actually weaken your immune system, which is terrible when you're getting this done. But once you get it done, and it's done and over with, and you never have to do it again, the sense of relief and anxiety, like, it's like your whole body went, like, that's what it's like. And it's such a relief. It's like, I don't even know the word I'm looking for. It's beyond surreal. But to feel that, all right, I'm done, and now I can work on healing, that relief is freaking amazing. Absolutely freaking amazing. So when I got my second, like when I got my bottoms done, because Medicaid's an a-hole, and they made me, even though they could have just gave me a partial and crown, but because it costed more than a full denture, they made me take them out. Grimy, I know. But when I got my bottom one done, I was just like, whatever. Which is funny because I should have been way worried about that. They're healthy teeth that were on the bottom. You know how hard it is to take out healthy teeth? Bro, I can't even explain to you. My dentist was struggling to get 8 teeth out. He goes, Heather, they're healthy. It's really hard to get these out. And I'm like, well, you can fight Medicaid or we're going to have to do this. And he goes, I hate Medicaid. I'm like, you hate Medicaid. I'm the person behind this. So he was pulling, and man, he was digging. He was going in the side of my gum and trying to, like, bro, the man was struggling. Like, at one point, he literally had me in a headlock trying to pull them out. I shit you not. But it was so mangled, my gums, when they were out. I had to get, and I'm not kidding, from here to here. It was stitched up 3 times all the way across, and all together, he said it was like 58 stitches, I think he said. It literally looked like Brajol. Is there any Italians out there? Brajol is like a thin meat that we put breadcrumbs, whatever, and spin it up, wheel it, and we take the meat twine, and we just, and it looks like fat chubbiness in between the twine. It's what it looked like, man. Helen, here in New York, bro, I can't even, we went from, when we had the Canadian wildfires, because I live right by Canada, like a couple hours, with pulmonary embolisms, that sucks, and people were dying here in New York. It was horrible, not from the fire, but from the smoke. People were literally dying. I was hospitalized a few times. But our summer was destroyed. Like, we weren't even allowed to leave our house. It was recommended for everybody to stay indoors. And to have a humidifier on and a purifier on and to clean all the stuff out and blah, blah, blah. And the hospitals were all full. So, recently we had hot weather during my pneumonia stuff. And I'm like, dude, why is it when it's hot outside and you're super sick, you just feel worse? The heat does not make me happy. Now it's, at nighttime, it's gotten as low as 38 degrees here. And in the daytime, it's 60 degrees. It's insane. We're definitely in fall weather now. Hey, Sarah. See, the whole thing is, when people tell me, Renee, about dental anxiety, everybody has it. I don't know one person that goes to the dentist and say, yes, I'm here. Nobody says that. Because they stick large-ass needles in your face. Nobody's happy about it. But, like I tell people all the time, sometimes you gotta grin and bear it and suck it up and fix your teeth. Now, the reason why I say that is because you're gonna have to go back, get a shit ton of needles to get all the teeth ripped out your face, which is gonna cause even more anxiety. So, I always tell people you can prevent the worst of the worst happening and just see the dentist. The cleaning doesn't even hurt. You just get a cleaning done. And if you have a cavity, it's bzz, bzz, done. I teach my kids thoroughly clean their teeth. Thoroughly. They've never had cavities. Until recently, Stevie on his wisdom tooth has, I keep telling him to take him out, but his wisdom teeth in the far back, because his jaw is like mine, it's hard to get back there. You need like a baby tooth, like toothbrush to get back there. But I say take care of your teeth, because unless you want to go through what I did, which, I mean, mine wasn't from taking care of my teeth, and they know that. Mine was from autoimmune suppressant, gave me a massive sinus infection that went down to my teeth and took everything out. When you have no immune system, that blows. But even when they just had a cavity done, they didn't even need numbing. It was such a small, tiny baby cavity that it just went, bzz, filled it, did a thing, boom, and they left. And I always tell them if they get no cavities every time I go every 6 months, then they get money from me. Because good job, you listened. But the whole thing is if you don't push through your anxiety, we all get anxiety in the world. Think about it. When you start a new job, when you're about to give birth, when you're, anything you do in life, anything new that's out of your comfort zone and routine, everybody gets nervous. But if you avoid everything in life, you're going to miss out on so much in life. That could be absolutely incredible. So if you ignore the dentist, because everybody has dental anxiety, even I get damn nervous, not anymore. I have no teeth. What am I supposed to get nervous about? But when I used to go to the dentist, I used to always get scared because I used to have to get root canals done because Sjogren's and vitamin D deficiency, dry mouth issues, it was a mess. But if I didn't get that done, I knew I was going to get at least 40 needles in my mouth to numb me to take out all my teeth. And I'm young. Would you rather have no teeth and look like an 80-year-old? Or would you rather push yourself to go to the dentist and do all that. Find a dentist who's great with dental anxiety, because my dentist is amazing. If he sees anybody's nervous, he'll start cracking jokes, he'll sing, he'll dance, chorus line happens. I love him, he's so funny. But if you run from something that could have been a small fix is now going to be a massive fix. And I always tell people you can't, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't just give in to your anxiety. Yes, I have a major anxiety disorder. I have a panic disorder, but I keep pushing myself. Because one, it teaches me a whole host of things, like everything. To be stronger, to push through, to, you know, when you have an issue, you fix it instead of running away from it. Like, it's a whole host of things for me on how I like to do things. But I also take medication to help me with my PTSD, to help, I mean, nothing helps with my anxiety disorder, I'm gonna be real. But you gotta push yourself, because wouldn't you rather have a small cavity and a small fix and get a cleaning done opposed to losing all your teeth? Because either way, it's not gonna be avoidable. You avoided the dentist for a small fix, but you can't avoid a dentist when you have a massive freaking infection, stuff coming out your freaking abscess and whatever, and now you're losing all your teeth. You're forced to go or you could die. So I always tell people, force yourself in the small one. Even if you got to go to the doctor, you're like, hey, I need to go to the dentist. Can you give me, like, you know, clozapam or Ativan or Valium, something small dosage, like just take the edge off so I can get this done. Most doctors, if you have an anxiety disorder, will always give you something, because it's going to benefit you and help you fix what you need to fix before it becomes you lose everything. You know, so I always tell people there's nothing wrong with asking for help. I get people that literally freaking email me when they're in the dentist chair, and I talk to them or message them or whatever it is, because I know what it's like. But you got to know when to ask for help. You got to know when you know you need to get this done. What can you do to help you get this done? One, you could bring somebody who's funny as hell, because it'll like the situation. Normally people bring me because I crack jokes all the time. But I knew somebody who had beyond the severest I've ever seen of dental anxiety. So she got a hold of me and said, hey, can we video chat and you can talk to my dentist? I'm like, sure, I can ask him whatever you need me to ask. And since I'm denture wearer, I know what to ask a dentist and go from there. The dentist was an asshole. And I told her, I'm like, girl, look at the video right now, or get up and leave. And I was like, face the video to him again. I'm like, you being so disrespectful and rude to any patient who's paying you to do a job, know something, we hire you to do a job. You need to have some class, some manners, and educate and help people. Because if you're a doctor, it's do no harm. And I told her, I'm like, all right, girl, let's go. I don't take crap from anybody in any freaking field. Because I don't know why, and it's not all doctors. Some doctors are just freaking amazing. But some doctors are just so arrogant and rude and think that we owe them something. I mean, we don't owe you shit. We're paying you to do a job, you owe us. So anytime somebody needs help, I'm there. You got it. If possible, I can always be there. Oh, I had all my 4 wisdom teeth taken out, Renee, when I was 18. And it was quick. First of all, my teeth were always straight and like perfect, except my little canines that were like vampire teeth. But he numbed it. Was a great oral surgeon in Long Island. And he was like, girl, your teeth are like freaking perfect. They're like perfectly shaped. But my molars, my wisdom teeth were impacted. So he's like, all right, we're going to take him out. I didn't even know he was done. He's like, all right, we're done. And I'm like, word? All right, cool. I hate wisdom teeth removal. Now, I'm going to tell you, it takes months to heal from that shit. Because you still have pain after a month. Because it's so deep in the jaw. Oh, God, I hate wisdom teeth. I hate wisdom teeth. Yeah, Keith, I always tell people need to stop the stigma. There's nothing wrong with you asking for help. There's nothing wrong with you taking a small dosage right before you have a major surgery done. Unless you're getting like an actual cut open in the body. That's different. It's not the same thing. Then they give you shit. Do not take stuff and not let them know, because it can interact for general surgery. Dental surgery is a little different. They're just ripping out teeth, which is bone, which is terrifying. So ask for something. It is okay to ask for something. The dentist can. Unless they're like an oral surgery person and, you know, they prefer to give a little bit of value before they do the surgery. But normal dentists are not going to give you Ativan or Valium or anything. Go to your primary doctor, explain them what's going on. Just say it's a one-time thing I just need help for. Maybe like 2 dosages. Cool. Explain to me when and where I should take it. We're good to go. There's nothing wrong with asking for help if you need it. If it's going to help you health-wise and benefit you to give you a better quality of life, freaking do it. If you run away and you're scared and you never get this done, you get massive infections, you get sepsis, you could die. Trust me, it's not a fun thing to do. So ask for help. And that's happened. Many people I've spoke to that happened to. This is what bothers me. I mean, maybe we're all in the situation before we ever got dentures, and we were oblivious to why people get dentures. It's not always addiction. People think all denture wearers are addicts. Bruh. No. I've seen people that have been beaten the shit out of. I've seen people in car accidents. I've seen people, they tripped over an animal and they got some of them taken out. I've seen people that are addicts, malnutrition, tons of autoimmune diseases, tons of vitamin deficiencies. So it's just it's broad as freaking hell. Why are people naive and think that people that get dentures and lose their teeth are just addicts? No. Not an addict. But I'm tired of my autoimmune diseases kicking my ass. Yeah, Tammy, something's wrong with bringing people. I always tell people, be strong. But sometimes you need to have that. We all go through something to where it's good to have that person that's your wingman. Bringing somebody with you, especially if it's somebody that you like, it gives some kind of peace. It's almost like it's endorphins. It's almost like if you were to take a medication. So if you bring your mom and you're super close to your mom and you bring her with you, it's your mom. So if your mom's nurturing, caring, understanding, sweet, all of that stuff, it's going to give you endorphins where you're going to naturally relax. And you know that you're comforted just by her presence. So just depends who you bring. I'm trying to remember, who did I bring? I don't remember many things. Freaking autoimmune. Blood clots caused by memory loss. See, normally if you're stuck with a person that you know is not really kind of peaceful to you, ask for a medication. Especially if you're going to get a ride. Oh, I think Mike took me. One of my friends that drives a cab and stuff, I think he took me for my bottom denture. I don't know. But he's mad, chill, and cool. He also has dentures. So it's not like I was weirded out. Plus, I've known him since I moved upstate. But you guys have to understand, you can't run away and be scared of things in life. You have to push through and get things done. But don't be afraid to ask for help. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Nobody's perfect. Nobody can calm themselves down at all times. Getting all your teeth ripped out can be terrifying. But once you get it done, it's such a relaxing. I always tell people, the second you get it done, the second you're home, you get this sense of relief, and all of a sudden you're massively tired. You know why? It's because your body's burning so much, everything being stressed out, anxious, everything. Your energy is hyped up, you're stressed, and all this stuff. Once it's over, it's just relax. And it's like a natural sleep aid. So go to sleep if that happens. Just don't choke on your gauze. Oh, I'm sorry, Tammy. Yeah, I feel for a lot of people. It's hard when you lose people in life, especially if you have a tight, close bond. It's hard, and it can change you forever. It's not... In life, we're meant to bond with people and to make memories and hold them forever and to do all that. But once you lose them, it's like you feel out of place. It's like you know what life was with them in it, and now with them not in it, it's like you don't know what to do. And that's why grieving takes time. You have to take time. Oh yeah, Sarah, people do that all the time. I'm like, bruh. Yeah, wasn't an addict. I'm like, got 1,000 freaking autoimmune diseases. I was put on Cellcept, which is like chemo. It's an autoimmune suppressant. It literally takes your immune system and makes it non-existent. So any bacteria that comes in is now your body has no defense to fight it. It's going to overgrow and it can kill you. It went to my neck, it went to my jaw, it went to everything. I was on clindamycin nonstop for 5 months. That was scary as shit. And me being as young as I was to get dentures, I was pissed. I was so mad. And then they found out that I have so many rare autoimmune diseases that I would have to be on like designer ones, like the most expensive, the most whatever, and I'd have to be on 3 of them. I'd be dead if I took 3 autoimmune suppressants. So I just live my life the way I want to. Yeah, Tammy, it does. You know, I've lost quite a few people in my life that I was so close to. It's hard to... How do I explain it? It's like you have to make a whole new you again. Because if your reaction is to call them immediately, and I've done that. When my grandmother died last year, right in the height of all my clots and stuff, it was hard as fuck. And nobody told me. I was the last fucking person to know. Not a fan of my family, I'm not. But nobody spoke to my grandmother but me. I'm the one that helped her order stuff, and, you know, because she was alone. Nobody would visit her, nobody would help her. But magically, when she died, everybody attacked all of her shit. I didn't even get a picture. But it sucks to be without my grandmother, because there's times where I go to reach for my phone and I'm like, fuck. I've saved all of her messages on my phone. Because she's English, like English accent, she's from England, and she moved to Long Island when my mom was born. But, or when she was like a young adult. But she would be on my phone and be like, Heather, where are you? And she's so funny. But I would be on the phone with her 6 hours at a time. It was nuts. Killed my neck. But it was nuts. And it sucks to be without her. And there's so many things I reach to where I can't even go into Bath and Body Works anymore, because that was our store together. We would always order the hand washing stuff, and like I can't even order from them. They're one of my favorite candle people ever. And I can't even order from them anymore. I can't do any of that. I just bawl. So yeah, I know what you feel. And it sucks. And it's one day at a time. That's all anybody can do. So yeah, I always tell people, when you lose somebody, it's human nature. Like, I've always sat down with my kids, because I know I won't make it to 40. So if you guys randomly see my kids on my channel having a video chat, probably not here anymore. But with having rare blood disorder now and having a shit ton of autoimmune disease, I keep freaking dying every freaking few months, which is really annoying. But I keep fighting, because I'm here for a reason. And I want to help people, and I want to be there for my kids, and I want them to know that I'm never just going to quit and give up. And I know it's going to be harder on my youngest, because me and him are so tight. But I always sit down with them and I talk with them. I prepare things so they can prepare themselves. I don't want, like, they know I'm a hot mess. I literally almost died of blood clots in my lungs on my oldest son's birthday. So it's a holy hot mess. So I always like to make sure that they know that I'm not just going to quit and give up. But they still should be prepared, because I'm not expected to live much longer. Have a good day, Keith. Stay out of trouble. That's alright, guys. I've kind of accepted it a few years ago. And having 46 blood clots recently, and everything going on, it looks a little obvious that it's going to happen sooner than later. But I just take one day at a time, you know? I do what I have to do. I take care of my kids. I still cook every day. And I cook, like, homemade, rustic Italian food. I make my own bread. I do all of that. Even my own pretzel bread, which is so good. So good. But I never take life for granted, because life is short. You could be the healthiest person and die tomorrow. It doesn't matter what you have or what you don't have or anything. Anybody's time could be up. So I always tell people, appreciate the moment, appreciate the people in your life, and live every day like it could be your last. No, I hate my blood thinner. So the Lovenox that I was on, because they did not tell me I can do it on most of my abdomen. They're like, oh, this one spot. No, it caused too many nodules, and they freaking idiots. But I love Lovenox, but I've changed to Eliquis. I hate Eliquis. Not a fan. Am I feeling better? No. I'm just good at moving on and not hanging on to the thing. Like, I look tired as shit, guys. For 3 weeks of pneumonia, I only slept 2 hours a day. It was rough. And it sucked. Woke up every day at 3 in the morning and stayed awake. But I don't dread on it. I know I'm going to die. Everybody knows I'm going to die. But why am I going to be sad and depressed? What is that going to do? That's taking away precious time. I can be alive and making memories. The way I look is completely different. I literally have died many times and came back. I don't know how I do it. But I'm not a cat. I do not have 9 lives. So I just move on and keep going. And today I feel massively tired. I could probably take a massive nap today. But I'm still healing from pneumonia. It's going to happen. I move on and get over it. I stay active. So do I feel good on this blood thinner? No, I think it sucks. Not a fan of Eliquis, but I have lupus anticoagulant disorder. It's a rare blood disorder. Actually, heparin, which is Lovenox, would be better for me. But my body has to heal because they screwed up and they weren't correct on how to do it and screwed everything up. So probably in a couple months I'll go back to Lovenox and stay on it because to me it's a way better freaking one. I love when people say that to me. No! People are so holistic. Oh, is there like lavender or something? No. 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 If all natural stuff fixed everybody's problems, people wouldn't die all the time. All autoimmune would be healed. Like, no, all natural doesn't work at all. That's BS. And people go into my Dropbox and messages and all that, be like, oh, have you tried this vitamin? It'll heal you. No, it won't. No, I'm not naive. I have scleroderma, which is too much production of collagen. It's turning my body from stone from inside out. No lavender or eucalyptus is going to fix that. I also have neuromyelitis optica, which is the rarest, most deadliest form of MS. I have about 12 lesions on my brain and all the way down my spine. Nothing holistically is going to fix that. And I have a bunch of other diseases. My hands are more swollen and shiny from scleroderma. Nothing can fix that. Nothing. I'm on normal meds for autoimmune. It is what it is. Assad, what's up? Well, Renee, most people with autoimmune try the all-natural in the beginning. And sometimes it makes everything worse. Everything. Like scleroderma, taking apple cider vinegar will fix everything. Yeah, when I did it, it ate a hole into my esophagus and caused me to bleed out. And I needed to get surgery done. So no, nothing all natural is going to work. If all natural works, and I'm telling you right now, everybody in the autoimmune community tries all natural to begin with. And then it progresses to disease. Because something should not be used on autoimmune. But what all natural will fix all my rare diseases? If apple cider vinegar fixed everybody's problems, nobody would have cancer and die. Well, doing an all-natural diet change, they already tell you to do that. When you get an autoimmune disease, especially what I have, I'm on an alkaline, low FODMAP diet. I eat and drink nothing acidic. Everything is alkaline, healthy foods for you. I do all that. But again, it's not going to cure a disease. It can help, like, say, if you have GI issues, and it can help symptoms. But even raw vegetables for somebody who has gastroparesis will kill them. Gastroparesis is slow emptying of the stomach. If raw vegetables can't be digested because of gastroparesis, it causes so much pain and can cause ulcers that'll kill somebody. So it really depends, but everybody changes their diet with autoimmune. Everybody. Everybody is off acidic foods. Everybody's off whatever. And nightshade fruits. See, a lot of people don't even know about nightshade fruits. They actually cause inflammation, like potatoes and tomatoes. They're all nightshade fruits. You guys can look it up on the internet. It'll show it on there. Um, but it gives you a list of other stuff too. But a diet change is going to help you. It's not going to cure your diseases. Too many people think that, and a lot of autoimmune people get mad because you can't give false hope to people who are dying. It's just not cool, bro. You can't do that. Can diet change help? Yes. Like if you have gastroparesis like I do, staying away from rice, any starchy foods, doing all that can help. It won't help you empty quicker, but it can reduce the pain in your abdomen. So my point is no all natural stuff will cure any disease. If it would, people doing it already would be healed, and they're not. Can eating normal foods, it's not all natural. It's eating normal. It's eating food. That's not all natural. That's eating. So that's not all natural. It's just what you eat. And it can reduce pain sometimes. Sometimes it can just amplify, which is horrible. Like, I can't even eat. I love broccoli. Can't eat it. Broccoli and cauliflower produce so much gas in the abdomen that for somebody like me who has permanent GI issues that is not fixable, it'll cause more pain. And I miss, like, steamed broccoli has crippled me. And I ended up with gastritis because of it. So, yeah, not everything. It's not all natural if it's food. It's just food. So, I mean, if people just eat processed food all the time, that can hurt anybody healthy. You know, that can destroy anybody's gut. There's no healthy gut flow. There's no healthy bacteria in your gut. Everybody should have healthy bacteria in their gut because that's what fights off all the bad bacteria. That's why if you take antibiotics constantly, first of all, even one time takes you a year to recover from it. So, I mean, this time I needed to, but I didn't take it for 2 years because I didn't need to. But a lot of doctors overprescribe antibiotics. But you got to put healthy stuff in there. You have to. You can't just eat processed foods the rest of your life. You're going to end up a diabetic. Yeah, I know, same thing. I spoke to many people. I have a 70-year-old message me 2 months ago. She's like, I was never told I can replace them. And I was like, she's like, I stopped wearing them all the time because of the pain and the bigness and me choking on them. And I was like, you can replace them whenever you want, but it's normally, 5 to 7 years. And she was like, I'm going to go get them replaced. I'm like, do you, sister? I'm like, go to get them done. She's like, nobody told me. I'm like, that's the whole thing, though. Nobody does tell anybody anything. Which is why I did YouTube. And I did, by the way, guys, I did not want to do social media. I'm not a fan of social media. I love helping people. And I knew the only way to build a support group on YouTube was to be on video. Now, if there was 10,000 people who were subscribed to me looking at me in real life, I'd probably have a panic attack and fucking leave. But it's easier to look at myself, Girl, it's nothing towards you. I'm talking about other people. So a lot of people think that healthy stuff are just going to heal you. It's not, I promise you. It doesn't. It doesn't. I make my own bread because I know what goes in it. You know what I mean? So that is what matters. But I don't expect everybody to know about autoimmune diseases. I didn't know anything about it until I got them. But it wasn't you. It's what you said that kind of like made me remind me of what people do in support groups. So autoimmune support groups, there are all these healthy people that, I can't even say healthy because I don't think they are, but selling all these powders and shit and pawning it off on autoimmune people. And I've known people who are hospitalized from that. So I get really, really mad when people are like, oh, it's your diet. My diet did not cause this on me. Genetics, stress, and environmental factors is what causes autoimmune diseases. Like, there's more people up north in America with MS than down south, unless they're from the north. It's environmental. So you can get autoimmune environmental factors if you're super stressed, which is how I got all mine, super stressed, and genetics, which genetics, by the way, is only like 1%. It's really not passed down. So it's normally caused by other things. Well, if you see a rheumatologist that's world renowned, like my rheumatologist, Dr. Shapiro, He gets Doctor of the Year awards. He's freaking amazing. He's written books. He works with the Scleroderma Foundation. Like, well, not works for it, but works with them. Just like Bob Saget, his sister died of scleroderma. And he was on the board of the Scleroderma Foundation. So when he died, it was such a loss to the scleroderma community because he was so amazing. But if all natural herbs, all this magical shit worked for people, then why are they dying? Why are they getting diseases? You know how many people I know that changed to healthy and they got worse? Because something's triggered. When you have a messed up GI system like scleroderma people do, when you have gastroparesis, when you have ulcers, when you have all this crap, raw healthy stuff will actually destroy it and make it worse. So it is about educating people on autoimmune because a lot of people don't know about it. Which, I mean, they don't have it. Why would they? Just like people who don't know much about cancer unless they get cancer. It's just the way it is. See, I like to learn about everything. That's just how I am. I like to educate myself, learn, understand, and help people. I've always been that way. But you can't have raw, super foods that are gastric, that can destroy somebody with gastric issues, that'll kill them. So I think when people are on the internet pushing shit when they're not even doctors or educated in that field to know about it, it can give false hope to people and also destroy them and put them in the hospital. And that's what bothers me. So if people are going to push these, say, this powder that's freaking got everything in it and it'll cure you. First of all, you can't do that. It's illegal to actually say this will cure a disease because nothing will. It's not curable. And most people with autoimmune diseases, they already eat healthy. I did. But it wasn't my diet that caused the issues. It was my stress level, anxiety, PTSD, anxiety disorder, all this shit that caused it. Because when you're super stressed out, and not a little bit stressed or a little bit anxious, I have a panic disorder. So when you have all that and you go through like horrible shit in life, I won't even put it on the internet, but some horrible shit, it can change cells, it can cause, and it can destroy. It's like a bomb that blows up. So that's why I always tell people, it's easier said than done to say don't stress out. But I'm a written proof that if you do overstress out, you will end up like me and die. It's not worth it. My problem is I care too much. And I put so much effort in. I get so destroyed when somebody close to me does mess up shit. And I take everything to heart too much, where it causes so much stress and causes issues. So I always tell people, just give everybody the finger and walk away. It's safer for your health to do that than just be so stressed out that you end up with 1 trillion autoimmune diseases and die. Because my life is shortened because I care too much. And that's the facts. I got all of this because I stressed out so badly it changes cells in my body and kills me. And it's just the way it is. Well, the people with autoimmune, Renee, really do know. Because we've tried everything. It's not going to stop it. Nothing's going to cure an autoimmune disease. Nothing. I don't care who anybody is. It's not going to cure it. Can it help somebody? I'm sure if somebody cut out eating just processed foods, which is dumb for anybody to do that, and it's not healthy for anybody to eat raw vegetables. It actually puts so much into the abdomen and stomach to break down raw food, raw vegetables, that it can just cause watermelon stomach or ulcers. Ulcers can kill you. I've had like a ton of them from stress. So things might lessen symptoms, but it ain't going to cure it. And I try to remind people that. Never give false hope to a community that's dying, because that is cruel. Oh, people misdiagnose all the time, Renee. All the time. When a doctor's so freaking lazy, the blood work showed I had autoimmune. Positive. He's like, oh, you have fibromyalgia. This is my opinion on fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia, first of all, there's no testing. So how would you know it even exists to begin with? And what makes them think that you don't actually have a real disease that's causing overactive nerves, that is causing. Like, I was diagnosed with small fiber neuropathy. My doctor was smart as shit. My autoimmune doctor was like, all right, these are your symptoms. We're testing you for small fiber neuropathy. And then I went back to the doctors that diagnosed me with fibromyalgia. I'm like, what makes you think it was fibromyalgia? He goes, oh, your veins hurt. Oh, your nerves hurt. And I'm like, a small fiber neuropathy, which is the small peripheral nerves throughout the entire body is damaged, ruined, or gone. And they were like, oh. And I was like, the whole thing is, to me, when people are diagnosed with fibromyalgia, everybody that's came back to me to test for small fiber neuropathy, large fiber neuropathy, or whatever, it was like, you were right. There's a reason that you have super active nerves, because you have a disease that causes it. Like diabetes will 100% cause it. Because diabetes, of course it's going to cause it. So there's always a cause. I just feel like they label something without putting the effort in to figure out why. Hey, Catherine. But Renee, when you say trusting doctors, I agree with you. Because in the beginning, with all my autoimmune, I was naive as shit. So non-rheumatologist, nobody would help me. Positive blood test, but everybody was ignoring me. And they were like, oh, you're young, you're beautiful, you're fine, go do you. Bitch, I'm not fine. And when you trust doctors and take their word thinking that they know more, no, they don't know more. No, they don't. So I always tell people, be your best own advocate. Ask questions, see proof, see the details of whatever testing, do everything. You can't always trust a doctor, because I've been killed, almost killed. Like, I've had organs blow up. I've had a lot of shit bad happen, all because doctors were wrong. So always speak up and be your best own advocate, because you're the only one advocating for you. The only one. But, Renee, the whole thing is eating healthy shouldn't be wait till you're dead to eat healthy. People should be eating healthy foods. But do you think eating a raw carrot is going to heal whatever autoimmune disease you have? No, because I'm telling you right now, when you're in a blood thinner, you can't have vitamin K. Most blood thinners. Vitamin K is in most healthy vegetables. All leafy greens, most fruits and vegetables. So telling people, oh, eat this and it'll cure you, it's actually going to thin their blood out more and they can bleed out and die. So I really think it depends on the person and what's wrong. But I don't think people should go through the internet and not know somebody's case and not know what vegetables have vitamin K in it. Somebody who's on a blood thinner to overeat vitamin K and they die. I think it needs to stay to a nutritionist and a doctor to give that information out, not somebody just floating on the internet. Because it's not healthy. I've seen too many people die and almost die, hospitalized, all because they were like, oh, somebody said it's so amazing for me. I'm like, weren't you eating vegetables before? They're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, did it work? No. I'm like, all right, so you can move on. But vitamin K is in most vegetables and fruit. Telling somebody who's on a blood thinner where it says, do not eat anything with vitamin K, and you're telling somebody eat all this shit with vitamin K, you thinned out their blood like water to where they can bleed out and die. That sucks. Being the person that I did all the research I could with when I was put with a rare blood disorder and things with the med that I can and cannot have, and did all the research. Everybody should do that when they are diagnosed with something or whatever. What can you do to lessen bad things, and what can you do to make your life better? But to me, listening to somebody on the internet who doesn't know me medically telling me, oh, if I take this I'll be cured, or half my disease will go away. No, it won't. Your disease is still going to be your disease. It doesn't matter. Processed food does not cause MS. And, eating vitamin K foods are not going to help somebody on a blood thinner that says don't eat vitamin K because you'll die. So, I think that people should see a doctor, a nutritionist. They can do the autoimmune diet, which is alkaline and low FODMAP. Low FODMAP, everybody should really be on because it's a great freaking diet and it takes out all things that can irritate the gut flow. And gut flow is important, but I always tell people, when you have a specific disease that person you're talking to knows nothing about, but they're telling you to digest this and it'll make you all go away and feel better, and now you can die. Because if I listen to somebody saying, oh, eat nothing but spinach or what broccoli or whatever with vitamin K in it, and now I thinned out my blood so much, I'm bleeding out. And I'm going to need surgery and die. So that's why I say it's very important for people to not mislead people on the internet, because it's not okay. For somebody who has a ton of autoimmune, I know people who have a ton of autoimmune and people with cancer and all this, listening to people who don't know your case and telling you you're going to be healed if you do this, first of all, that's false fucking advertising. Nothing is going to cure MS, but I have a rare form of MS. Nothing's going to cure scleroderma. Those two diseases I have are the most rare, deadliest autoimmune. I ain't going to cure it. It is what it is. But I know there are people out there that will listen to people that are like, oh, take these spices and eat these vegetables raw and you'll be healed. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. Autoimmune diseases are the cells in your body. It's overactive autoimmune system. So say, I get this bacteria that goes in my body. My body's going to overreact and beat the crap out of it. Can destroy my white blood cells, my red blood cells, everything. Destroy everything, which puts you in a flare-up and bad shit happens. So it can attack organs. It can attack anything. And there's no vegetable on the market that's going to take that away. I wish, but no. So, I mean, when anybody has, healthy or not, doesn't matter. Everybody should always eat a well-balanced diet. And because I have scleroderma, I can't have anything acidic. Which, whatever. But I don't like when anybody goes on the internet, and it's all over the place. We've all seen it. Whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, people that are not doctors, no medical license, no actual criteria of stuff to back up their evidence and proof by any studies saying, oh, take this and you'll be fine. Do you have that disease, though, to know that works? No. Then how would you know? You know what I mean? So it's like having a non-denture wearer say, if you put your denture in straight up bleach, it'll disinfect and it's healthy for you. We all know bleach will destroy a denture. It'll destroy it. Not only that, is you're not going to be ingesting it because it's somewhat porous. Our dentures and soft reliners. And would you put bleach in your mouth? No, it shouldn't even be on products that you're freaking putting in your mouth. But you can't always believe everything you hear. So I always tell people, if anybody ever asks me about autoimmune and how to do certain blood work and stuff, I always give people the information. Because doctors don't. They don't know what blood tests should be done. Normally when you're being tested for autoimmune, it's like 11 vials of blood. Or 12, something like that. It's obnoxious. Because they test you for everything. And it takes about 5 years to be diagnosed. Because all autoimmune react and act as each other. Ingesting is eating. So you saying to eat these healthy foods and it'll cure you is ingesting. Ingesting is eating. No, but I'm explaining to you. Well, you weren't suggesting. You said it is that way. That's, you've seen it happen and people just change their diet and they're fine. But diets don't cure cancer and diets don't cure autoimmune diseases. So it depends on the autoimmune. But all doctors recommend to all autoimmune patients to be on the low FODMAP diet because it's less inflammatory foods. You want to avoid the inflammation as much as possible. Hold on. We'll go up a smidge. Well, here you said it usually has to be a full-blown diet change, and no, vinegar is one of the things should not be put into the body. Actually, apple cider vinegar is all over the place. People should be taking it. And ingesting is eating, and it's a diet, so it is ingesting. But like I was saying, what you said reminded me of what other people have said in support groups. So I never said you said it, even though you said changing of the diet will fix things. It doesn't. I mean, you could take and avoid inflammatory foods. Everybody should avoid inflammatory foods because over time it will destroy the gut and also cause a lot of freaking pain that's not necessary and triggers IBS, which most people have, and blah, blah, blah. But it's just what you said, like I said before in this live, that it's what you said reminded me of what other people say. Hey, take this powder and do this, or hey, take these pills, it'll be better, or a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar will cure everything, and blah, blah, blah. Like, people are always doing that. But diet change doesn't fix an autoimmune disease. Avoiding inflammatory food should everybody do. But I was saying what you said of, have you tried healthy and organic or whatever stuff you said to try? And I said, people, and it's just what you said that reminded me of what people in a support group said about, oh, this should change this. Like you said, it's not just diet, it's Glutathione packs and certain herbs as well. And stuff like that that you shouldn't, and that was just in the middle of what you said. But, and you saying that you don't know much about autoimmune, but that's my point. If you don't know about the diseases and you're pushing to eat healthier foods, well, vitamin K foods, which is in most vegetables and some fruits, will thin out the blood more. So people on a blood thinner can bleed out. So would it be in their best interest? Actually, I hate that freaking diet because I even said that to my autoimmune doctor. He wanted me to go on Coumadin. I fucking hate Coumadin. Coumadin is an old school blood thinner, and more people die with Coumadin than anything. But you cannot eat any vitamin K with Coumadin. None. Not even a little. Nothing. You can die. It sucks. But I was like, so you're forcing people to eat crappy foods then? He goes, well, they can't eat vitamin K. I'm like, that's like all the vegetables in the world. I'm like, and most fruits. I'm like, so we have to avoid vitamin K, so you're telling us we can only eat processed foods. That sucks. I was like, yeah, you're not putting me on that. Even my autoimmune doctor said they can't put me on that. But if you read up above, yeah, you did say to eat healthier foods. And ingesting is taking in, is what you're saying. You just didn't use that word. I'm using that word. But again, it's not all of what you said. I was just letting you know what you said of immediately is, oh, if you eat healthy foods, blah, 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 can do all this. And it reminds me of all the things I've heard on Facebook, well, mainly Facebook, TikTok, I don't go on TikTok, and all this stuff that doctors on YouTube are getting mad. That people are pushing these protein powders or these freaking whatever shit that they're freaking pushing, and they're not doctors, they're not nutritionists, they're not anything, and they're pushing something, promising something will happen. That's why if you look at the back of vitamins, everything on food-wise, it'll say this, by the FDA, this is not curing a disease or illness or anything, blah, blah, blah. It says that on everything. Whether it's protein powder, whether it's vitamins and everything, it says all that. Because it protects people who are pushing it, that they can make money off of people like me, but it says on the bottle, you can't get mad because it's not helping you. That's why I tell people, just speak to a nutritionist for autoimmune diseases if you have an autoimmune. But if you can't have acidic foods, just avoid acidic foods and inflammatory foods. But look up nightshade foods, and it'll give you a list, because I'm using my phone for the camera. But I know tomatoes is number one. It is the most inflammatory food that causes inflammation. But yeah, Renee, it wasn't everything that you said. It wasn't you specifically. It was you saying healthy foods can help or fix or do whatever. And I was letting you know what people have done on the internet. And I even said further in that it wasn't specifically you. It was a little bit what you said that triggered what people have said before, that these are going to fix your problems. No, nothing is going to fix your problems. When you're diagnosed, you're kind of screwed. You can lessen your symptoms, but it's not necessarily food. Stress is a major impact on everybody's health, whether you have autoimmune or not. So if you have so high stress, it actually weakens your immune system. So I'm sure we've all seen people on the internet saying, oh, have this powder, or oh, do this, it'll fix and heal and it'll make you look like me. And I'm like, yeah, no. And it sucks though, there should be better meds. You think we came so far, we can pull out a COVID shot out of our butt in a year, but we don't have a cure for cancer? Yeah, I don't believe that. I think they wouldn't make enough money if they don't push their meds. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of Big Pharma either. I think a lot of their shit is more damaging than the illness itself. But I am a firm believer that stress makes everything worse. Stress puts you in a flare-up with your autoimmune. Stress does a lot of shit. Too much on your body, everything. Oh, yeah, I have those too, Renee. Yeah, that sucks. I have lupus. It's one of them. So my kidneys hate me. Oh, castor oil? Okay, so castor oil lubricates any intestines. It'll make you crap like you wouldn't believe. But it definitely doesn't kill off bacteria and cysts, though. I mean, when you drink castor oil, which is straight up fat and oil, it lubricates your intestines. So, I mean, I wouldn't do that on a all the day basis kind of thing. But I get kidney stones, I get a whole bunch of shit. What actually worked for me was one, drink more water. It will flush out all the bacteria that sits in there to cause cysts, because I get cysts too. Oh, most people I know drink castor oil. How do you take castor oil then? So you put castor oil on your skin on your back, and you said it goes in and filters your kidneys? To each their own. Whatever makes you happy. What I do to fix my kidneys, of my cysts in my kidneys, I also have endometriosis, so I kind of have cysts everywhere. Which sucks, bro. Sucks. But mine's all caused by lupus and other autoimmune and a whole bunch of stuff. So if you drink a lot of water, now I drink about 32 long ounce bottles. I drink 6 of them a day. So, and drinking water flushes all the toxins, everything out of your body, filters your kidneys pretty damn good. I wouldn't drink, like, say, 32 ounces in 5 minutes, because that's diluting your vitamin levels in your blood. But drinking the water is imperative. See, what I also do is I take sulfasalazine, which filters through your kidneys, which has also been helping a great deal. It actually brought down a lot of my kidney numbers, which was shocking. I started taking it before I was diagnosed with pulmonary embolisms, brought down my inflammation, brought down the strain on my kidneys, brought down everything. So when Dr. Shapiro did my blood panel again, he goes, how did that work so quick? I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. I've never tried sulfasalazine before. My son's on it for RA, so I was like, hey, let me try it. I know he works well with it, so it'll probably work well for me. And it works freaking phenomenal. It actually is less issues than I've ever had, which is actually quite extraordinary. I didn't even know that shit did that. But yeah, I take sulfasalazine, 2,000 milligrams a day, 1,000 in the morning, 1,000 at night. I always drink a crap load of water. You need to in life. Oh, word, Sarah. Stress is what caused all this on me. Stress is so damaging. Anxiety is so damaging. That's why I tell you guys to get help if you have anxiety, because you can cause an autoimmune on yourself. You can cause many things on yourself. It's weakening your body. It's rough, man. Like, stress is so damaging, and I don't think, like, people know it causes heart attack and stroke, but you don't realize it can cause autoimmune diseases. Shit, I didn't know until they told me. They're like, well, because of this, now you have this, this, and this. And I'm like, crap. So, my next life, not going to care as much. So, Renee, I got a question. If castor oil penetrates through your 7 layers of skin, like the dermis, the main part of your skin, it goes through the subcutaneous layer, it goes through all of this and gets into your kidneys, wouldn't regular lotion, body wash, and all that stuff get into your kidneys that way too? That'd be my question. Because what I do know is that that's not possible. Your kidneys are underneath your ribs. It's not even, you feel the pain in your back because your kidneys are deeper than the upper part of here. So it's on each side and protected by your rib cage. So it would have to go through your bone, your blood. You would have castor oil in your blood because it would have to go through the blood supply too as well. Renee, it's all good. Girl, I don't take anything seriously or whatever. I just give information out. But it wasn't even what you said exactly. It's just saying healthy stuff just reminded me of how I lost my friend because she tried this certain protein powder and didn't know that her autoimmune disease was against protein and destroyed her fucking kidneys and she died. So it's a lot of things when you hear something, it can bring you back to a moment. So there's too much all over online. So it wasn't you specifically, but I was letting you know, you can eat all the healthy shit in the world, you're still going to have an autoimmune disease. Trust me. I ate a lot of healthy shit. But vitamin K, say somebody doesn't know somebody's on a blood thinner, and they're saying, oh, you have this autoimmune disease, eat all the green vegetables you can do, and you just killed them because you can't have vitamin K. You know what I mean? So it wasn't you. It was me saying that people give out false information, saying do this, it'll save your life, and people die from it, which is not good. And I don't take any offense to anything. I don't know how long you've been on my channel, but I don't take offense to shit. I get a lot of crap from people. I don't care. I'm dying from stress. Why would I let things stress me out now? Now I just don't care. I care enough to help people, but I don't care if people... I'm such a researcher. I've learned so much now because I've listened to other people and it's destroyed me. But I look up so much information that I would know if somebody tell me, oh, this fixes it, I know it's not true. But castor oil can't go through 7 layers in your blood supply and your rib cage and all the way in there to get to your kidneys. If that was the case, nobody could wear lotion because it would penetrate our kidneys, our ovaries, our uterus. We couldn't have sex because it would do that. Like, it would be a whole bunch of stuff. So if I were you, I would get the information and have them, first of all, check your kidneys. Because if you're getting cysts, it sounds like something big's going on, girl, and you need to get to the bottom of that. Because I was once in your shoes and almost lost my left kidney. So I would definitely get on your doctor's case. I don't know your case. I don't know if you were diagnosed with anything. But if the doctors you have are not giving you help, relief, and information, definitely go see somebody different. Because having cysts, if they get really big in your kidneys, it can blow. It's not cool, bro. Yeah, but Renee, you don't understand what the body can do? It's amazing. Okay, so there's been many times, like even with this, before I was on sulfasalazine, my kidneys were going to crap. Everything was going bad. Everything was doing whatever. Things can happen. Say if you have an autoimmune disease and you're so stressed out usually and you're constantly getting flare-ups and all this bad shit happens, but now all of a sudden something good happening to your life. Now everything starts to calm down. Your autoimmune feels better. You're kind of sort of in remission kind of thing, but not a flare-up. You know, you're chilling. You're going to have better, you know, tests. So the body can do amazing shit. Like when they tell me, oh, you have this, I'm like, dude, that's so fucking cool. And they're like, how? And I'm like, because our body's cool as shit. It can do, and take a beating, bro, but it can do so much cool shit. It can repair itself. It can do so many things. Even with me having 46 freaking damn blood clots in my lungs, I'm like, dude, that's cool that I got it to go away in a month and a half. Because everything I've read and researched said it could take a year. So that was my mindset, but I was working hard for it. And because I exercised and worked hard, increased the circulation, which absorbed the blood. It wasn't anything I put on my skin. It wasn't anything whatever. It's because I did the exercise to absorb, cause circulation, and absorb the blood. But our body could do so much cool shit. I find it fascinating. I hated science as a kid, but as an adult, I find it cool as shit what the body can do. Renee, did they ever figure out what caused the kidney disease? Like, if you had it when you were younger, then, you know, genetics. But I know it's crazy because a lot of things aren't explained. Even some doctors are like, we have no idea. Like, I was like, dude, how did my blood circulate that well where it filtered my blood clots? And did, like, girl, you went to the gym 6 days a week. You made your freaking blood filter out so well it absorbed all the blood clots. I'm like, that's cool shit. But I'm always a person to find answers. Like, I want to know why. I'm like a 2-year-old when they first find out how to speak and do things. I'm like, why? Yeah, stone removal sucks. Huh? Yeah, they've done that to me many times where they stick to do the freaking laser thing and they just blast them and break them up into little things so you could just pee them out. Hold up. That's crazy, Renee. Focal seizures are hard to diagnose if you don't get them, like, say, like, every day or off, like, super often. Or sometimes somebody can just daze out and just, like, whatever, and they're alone. You don't know it's a seizure, you know? I have spinal stenosis, too. PCOS is a blood disorder, for anybody that doesn't know, which would be, like, a lot of salt and blood thinners and stuff. Oh, girl. I made videos of that on my second channel. That all the shit, autoimmune cancers, it doesn't matter. Everything that you're diagnosed with messes with you mentally, especially when you don't get help from doctors and you don't whatever, then you start to feel like it's in your head. And it destroys you. I had clinical depression for so damn freaking long. And after 9 rheumatologists, and it took one well-renowned doctor to diagnose me in 10 minutes, and it, like, faded away. It sucks. I mean, there's nothing I can do about my life. No, it is what it is. And I try to make the best of it. But yes, mental health with autoimmune cancer, stuff like that, is insane. And I feel like doctors don't take that seriously with us, which bothers me. Thomas, I don't know. I'm not. I'm shiny, though. I have this freaking ring light on me. I have olive skin, too. So lights make me look weird. And I'm a hot mess and I'm tired. Guys, I slept 2 hours. Ooh, Kit Kats. That was so random, but now I'm in the mood for one. Oh, I don't know. I'm shiny because that's my skin. My skin is, I do so much skincare to my stuff. So that's probably why. But if I was crying, why would I be shiny on, like, my chin and my forehead? And I'd be more dark red. But I'm not crying, I swear. I've been on this live for almost 2 hours. Holy fuck. What time is it? Jesus. I went on this live, and it's 1 hour and 41 minutes ago. That's so insane. Alright, guys, I gotta go. I've been on here too long. But if you guys want me to do a live of, like, when I do my adjustments and I do my reliner, I did that a couple months ago. But I could do that. When you cry, it goes down your face, not your forehead. And, my eyes are white. Why do people think I'm crying just because I'm shiny? It's so ridiculous. I'm not crying, guys. People have been sitting here with me for 2 hours. I haven't cried once. But, Renee, if you want to email me, my email's everywhere, and we can sit and chat and talk. Yeah, I didn't take offense what you said. It just reminded me of what happened. And we all see it all over the internet. Do you guys ever watch Dr. Mike? I love him. And he's constantly debunking all the people that are like, here, if you take this, it'll cure everything. He's like, stop doing that. And he was like, people don't even have a license or degree, and it's false advertising, and people can be like, I'm hoping people know better. But it's just what you said reminded me of all of that. And I said that early on. I know you're crazy. Yeah, I gotta go, guys. It's almost 12. I'm not even dressed. I started this at like 9 something or 10 something. I don't remember. I think it was 10 I started this. But I gotta go, guys. I got shit to do. Still in my pajamas, man. I'm so tired. So tired. I don't know if any of you guys had pneumonia, but when I looked it up, I was like, because I remember the extreme tired from 10 years ago when I had pneumonia. But I was like, when does that shit go away? It's like, oh, in a couple of months. Well, you guys can always email me. Thank you, Renee. I appreciate your comment. You know, people think that I get upset and mad. I swear to Renee, I'm not mad at you. I promise. And I appreciate your comment because you guys can understand everybody learns. I learn something new every freaking day. And I always teach people. And I always think everything's a teaching moment, you know? And it wasn't you, I swear. It was when people make comments, I'm like, oh, that reminds me of this. Oh, maybe I should let everybody know about this. Because it's not going to fix anything. I hate giving false hope. Because when I was younger with autoimmune, like younger, you know, I believed everything could be fixed by that. And it actually caused many ulcers on me. And I warn people, don't get in your head and have false hope. Just live in the moment and just make moments and talk and chat. I love, even if I debate with somebody, I'm not the type of person that flips out and gets mad and hates people. It's just not me. It's just not. I love debating with people, and I love talking, and I love information. Everybody learns from everybody. Everybody. I love that shit. People think I'm crazy. But I really love learning. I love knowing new things. I love learning about new things. I love it. My kids think I'm nuts all the time. It's like, Mom, why do you care? I'm like, because it's good to know the information. And even, they even say it with all the research I've done with anything in life. They know the stuff that they do because then it'll help them later on, and they know that. Like when I talk to my kids about the GI tract and, you know, how it works and how it hates me, but what your body needs and how to fix it, and it's everything. I try to break the stigma with everything, you know? And I love talking to people. I love communicating. I like knowing people's side and views. Like I know, say people with, I mean, all autoimmune is inflammation, but say with RA, my son has RA. He has juvenile RA and he has sulfasalazine like I am, which helps us a great deal. I think I have to take that. I don't know if I took that today. Damn it. I gotta remember this shit. But I take so many meds I can't remember anything anymore. And I have the med thing and it doesn't go off correctly. I don't know. But everybody should be on an anti-inflammatory diet, which means don't eat anything that's inflammation-wise, like tomatoes. People don't realize tomatoes are high inflammation. I learned that after my first ulcer. And my doctor's like, you know, there's nightshade foods, right? I'm like, no. He goes, look it up at home, get the information, write all the fruits and vegetables down, avoid it. I'm like, but I love potatoes. Yeah, that's part of it. Just have to eat small amounts. But it's still great. Yeah, Renee, I still can't believe that. And I know one other person in my life that's happened to, but it was all in one car accident. But losing so many, like if you have a family you're close to, I raised myself. But if you have a family that you're close to and you lose them one by one, with doesn't matter how long the period is, but being a short period, that will with you mentally like you wouldn't even believe. It's like before my grandmother died, all of her friends were dying because they're older. She was in her 80s. And she was like, I'm so afraid to die. My grandma will outlive everybody. She actually had an asthma attack and died, which was terrifying, but it brought me back to that moment when she was crying, being afraid to die, and then I just bawled. I can't talk about it now because I'm probably going to cry, but I feel bad because her fear happened. And she did not deserve for that to happen. But yeah, I know 100%. Water is, you need it, your organs need it, your kidneys need it, but it makes your skin better. Like, people are like, oh, Heather, you're shiny. Well, blame the water. I have healthy skin. What do you guys want from me? I don't know what to tell you. I'm Mediterranean, so I'm like kind of olivey with whatever, and YouTube video does not flatter anybody. Alright guys, I gotta go. My ass is numb and I really need to walk around because I get blood clots, guys. Oh, that feels good stretching. My ass hurts. But if you guys want me to do a live again, let me know and I'll do a live. Because this I know was random and nobody knew I was coming on, and for 2 hours. But if you guys ever want to talk, just email me. On all my videos is my email, right? The first sentence. Just email me. My other shit is like destroyed by freaking what's the word? Spam. My Heather B. Denture DiVa on Facebook, destroyed by spam. I gotta go through that because I didn't even bother when I had pneumonia. It sucks. But you guys can talk to me whenever. I'm here. I'm floating. I answer everybody. Everybody who emails me know that. So you guys can email me anytime. And if you guys want me to go on live certain days, just let me know. I'll do majority rules and then I'll go from there. But stay healthy, guys. Be good. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Stay out of trouble. And drink freaking water. Drink water. It's better for you. I quit soda years ago. Best thing I ever did. But love you guys. Later.